Hey there, it's Dusty Fresh, and welcome back to my collection update videos on my channel. It's going to be the last hurrah for a while. Here you see we have another stack of PlayStation 2 goodies to show you. It's a platforming flavour this time out. So without further ado, let's get on with the first one. Going into it quick this time, seeing as I'm not behind the camera or anything, there's not much for me to look at. So I'm not going to waffle on without showing you anything. And this one is Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. And I used to have this for the original Xbox. It was bundled in with the console when I first bought one. Way back in 2004, the Crystal Edition, which I picked it up again when I started collecting. And it's the first time I've had this on the PlayStation 2. And it was a great little game. It was my first foray into playing Rayman 3D. I never played the second one, which I have now as well. I've got it on the N64, so now I've got 1 to 3. But my only experience with Rayman before that was playing the first game on the PlayStation 1, and that was a classic 2D platformer. So he already made the move over with The Great Escape, I think it was called, Rayman 2. So this is a third one. And you've got a whole different set of guys that you got to fight on this, the hoodlums, and the kind of like pirates. So it's a cool little game, and it's definitely a good quality one to go out and play. The PlayStation 2 had no shortage of decent 3D adventure games or platforming kind of games. So there was definitely a lot to choose from. Like I said in the last video, this is going to be my last hurrah, the last few videos I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to be keeping on the wagon from now on, because I just won't have time to go out and collect anymore, I don't think. I picked up this one, Maximo Army of Zin, because I already have the first one, and I knew it was selling for about £3 or something in Entertainment Exchange, so to pick it up for 99p, and that's what Rayman cost me as well, 99p. So I thought, well, why not? And that is complete, as you can see, and these are on the higher end of the difficulty scale, pretty much like the game they're a spiritual successor to, the Ghosts and Ghouls. They were really hard games. These are the same. I've still not got around to playing any of them yet. I've got the first one, and I've just had that many games that I've collected, and just having a family to look after and being a carer as well and things like that, I don't get as much time to play as I do to actually collect. But it's going to be another quality title there to add to some of the already stellar platforming games I've got. Moving on, I got another interesting title that I've not seen before, and that's Prism Chapter 1, The Dark Unicorn. And this is another one that I think is a kind of underrated game. TDK there. Anyone who had sorry about that, I've still got a bad throat and chest. They're involved in blank discs, plenty of blank cassettes back in the day from those. And Pendle Games there, that is a town that's right next door to the town I grew up in, and it's a little market stall, so they were selling it for £10 at once upon a time. So this game's been around for a while, doing the rounds, and it's a game about some corruption. Some Dark Lords come around and corrupted things, and the only land that's been unaffected is the land of unicorns, and some of the other races have fled there, and it's about this mythical unicorn, the one of prophecy, has been born, who's going to banish the bad guys basically, and he's got the help of a dwarf magician. So those two are working together to defeat the bad guys basically, and you got to go through 5 different worlds and free them all. So there's all different ones for the different kind of mythical creatures. Like there's a land that's the dwarfs, there's an elven land, and so on. And I think it's quite a hidden gem. I don't think it's the one I was thinking about. There's one called Rygar, which is meant to be a great little hidden gem. But this one might be pretty good too. I don't know though, because I haven't actually got around to playing it yet. And then another 2 that I picked up. The first of those is Dynasty Tactics. I've never actually played a Dynasty Tactics game. I did have Dynasty Empires, the first one I think, and that was my first kind of spin-off Dynasty Warriors game I ever bought. I had the main series but never really delved into the others. They kind of went crazy on the Dynasty Warriors games by this point. They started making lots and lots of different ones. Like there was the Extreme Legends, there was Tactics, then there was Empires, which I had Empires, which I think this is kind of the same thing. It's just a little bit more strategy involved rather than the normal kind of just button bashing game and just smashing everything. But it's complete. It's even got a receipt in from way back in, I think it was 2009. Yeah, 2009. The receipt's dated from the game store. They paid £5 for it back then. I only paid 99p for it, so it's not too bad. And they've got the instruction booklet and everything. And I don't mind the Dynasty Warriors games. They're great fun just to have a quick play around with. And just great fun games, really. And last but not least, I got Worms 3D, which is a game that's done the rounds as well. That's Entertainment. That's a label from a shop called That's Entertainment. So that was on a deal for £3 for £5 or £1.99 each. I paid 99p for it. And it's my second Worms game for the PlayStation 2. I've got, I think it's Worms 4. I don't know whether I think it is. But I've been used to the Worms games since the early days. I had one of the games for the PlayStation 1, and I had Worms Armageddon for the Game Boy Color. That was the game that came bundled in with my Game Boy Color, actually. And they're great little games. I had fun playing my brother on them. They're not so much... they lose a little bit of it when you just play them single against a computer. They're definitely a lot more fun to play with other people. So for me, not too good, really. I'm a bit of a Billy No Mate, so it's probably not the greatest game for me to go out and play. Like I said, games like that are great. Like there's some classic games for the PlayStation 2, like Team Buddies and Hogs of War, that were fantastic games. Same as some of the Worms games, but not as much fun to play on your own. But they're still pretty fun, but just they lose something in the not having the multiplayer element. It's going to be a really hard choose actually this time to pick a game of the video because they're all, some of them are as intriguing to me. I'm going to count out Dynasty Tactics because I know what Dynasty Warriors is all about. Pretty much the same with Worms 3D. And Hoodlum Havoc I've already played for the Xbox, so I kind of know what that's all about. So I'm probably going to be most excited it's a giant one between these two probably. Maximo Army of Zin and Prism. The Dark Unicorn is probably between those two. I don't know which game you guys are preferred to play. That's purely down to those reasons. Probably for playing the game again. Maybe Rayman to have another play on it again. In terms of quality, maybe. But those two, just for the fact that I've not played them and how intriguing they are to me. But which one would be your pick of the video out of those? Thoughts would be welcome. But that's what I've been collecting recently. It's been a platforming game fest, really. And with one kind of tactical game, multiplayer game thrown in to the mix, and a hack and slash game. And that cost me £5 altogether for 5 games, so not bad going, really. Thanks for watching, everybody who has watched, and for commenting and things like that. Really appreciate it. But that's all I got time for on this video. I'll be back soon with my last hurrah in the collecting field for a while. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.